Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Klein coming to you with our last reading for Dear Mr. Henshaw. Just a reminder that the book is by Beverly Cleary. It is illustrated by Paul O. Zielinski, and the publisher is Scholastic Incorporated. We're going to start here with Monday, March 26th and take it to the end of the book. Monday, March 26th. Today wasn't the greatest day of my life. When our class went to the library, I saw a stack of yearbooks and could hardly wait for Miss Neely to hand them out. When I finally got mine and opened it to the first page, there was a monster story, and I saw I hadn't won first prize. I kept turning. I didn't win second prize, which went to a poem, and I didn't win third or fourth prize either. Then I turned another page and saw honorable mention, and under it, A Day on Dad's Rig by Lee M. Botts. There was my title with my name under it in print, even if it was mimeograph print. I can't say I wasn't disappointed because I hadn't won a prize. I was really disappointed about not getting to meet the mysterious famous author, but I liked seeing my name in print. Some kids were mad because they didn't win or even get something printed. They said they wouldn't ever try to write again, which I think is pretty dumb. I have heard that real authors sometimes have their books turned down. I figure you win some, you lose some. Then Miss Neely announced that the famous author the winners would get to have lunch with was Angela Badger. The girls were more excited than the boys because Angela Badger writes mostly about girls with problems like big feet or pimples or something. I would still like to meet her because she is, as they say, a real live author. And I've never met a real live author. I am glad Mr. Henshaw isn't the author because I would really be disappointed that I didn't get to meet him. Friday, March 30th. Today turned out to be exciting. In the middle of second period, Miss Neely called me out of class and asked if I would like to go have lunch with Angela Badger. I said, sure, how come? Miss Neely explained that the teachers discovered that the winning poem had been copied out of a book and wasn't original, so the girl who submitted it would not be allowed to go. And would I like to go in her place? Would I? Miss Neely telephoned Mom at work for permission, and I gave my lunch to Barry because my lunches are better than his. The other winners were all dressed up, but I didn't care. I have noticed that authors like Mr. Henshaw usually wear old plaid shirts and the pictures on the back of their books. My shirt was just as old as his, so I knew I was okay. Miss Neely drove us in her own car to the Holiday Inn, where some other librarians and their winners were waiting in the lobby. Then Angela Badger arrived with Mr. Badger, and we were all led into the dining room, which was pretty crowded. One of the librarians, who was a sort of super librarian, told the winners to sit at a long table with a sign that said reserved. Angela Badger sat in the middle, and some of the girls pushed to sit beside her. I sat across from her. Super librarian explained that we could choose our lunch from the salad bar. Then all the librarians went off and sat at a table with Mr. Badger. There I was, face to face with a real live author who seemed like a nice lady. Plump, with wild hair. And I couldn't think of a thing to say because I hadn't read her books. Some girls told her how much they loved her books, but some of the boys and girls were too shy to say anything. Nothing seemed to happen until Mrs. Badger said, "Why don't we all go help ourselves to lunch at the salad bar?" What a mess. Some people didn't understand about salad bars, but Mrs. Badger led the way, and we helped ourselves to lettuce and bean salad and potato salad and all the usual stuff they lay out on salad bars. A few of the younger kids were too short to reach anything but the bowls on the first rows. They weren't doing too well until Mrs. Badger helped them out. Getting lunch took a long time, longer than in a school cafeteria. And when we carried our plates back to our table, people at other tables ducked and dodged as if they expected us to dump our lunches on their heads. All one boy had on his plate was a piece of lettuce and a slice of tomato because he thought he was going to get to go back for roast beef and fried chicken. We had to straighten him out and explain that all we got was salad. He turned red and went back for more salad. I was still trying to think of something interesting to say to Mrs. Badger while I chased garbanzo beans around my plate with a fork. A couple of girls did all the talking, telling Mrs. Badger how they wanted to write books exactly like hers.